As you know, I've got the Bundutec Bundutop rooftop tent, which is just above me here. It's not set up at the moment, guys, but what I want to show you is something to do with the Bundusuite. I've got some questions on how it's installed on my vehicle. When you purchase these Bundusuites, for you guys out there that's going to install these on your own, so you get these brackets. So I'll show you what these brackets are shortly, guys. But one of the questions, common question that I receive all the time is to do with my 270 awning as well. And it's to do with this bar here. So as you're aware, my 270 awning is how quick it is to set up, guys. And part of the reason why it's so quick is I'm able to do away with that strap. So you can see here, I've actually removed it. So by default, normally what you do, guys, is when you set these up, you hook the strap onto mounting points somewhere on your rooftop tent or roof rack, and then you pull, okay, that strap tight. But with the tough touring brackets, guys, so this is a part of the tough touring brackets. So remember I mentioned that before, guys. Tough Touring is a company based near Victoria in Melbourne. I believe they're close to Melbourne, and they custom make brackets, a bracket system that mounts onto your Bundutop rooftop tent. You can attach your awnings. So the awning is attached to the rooftop tent. It's a really secure mounting point because particularly in regards to the Bundutec Bundutop rooftop tent, you've got this huge area to mount the brackets onto it. Well, when you get these brackets, guys, they come with this bracket here. It's a hook. But common question I received, guys, and it's to do with the roof part of the Bundusuite. When you purchase the Bundusuite, right, you get the roof section that comes with it. Now you can set that roof section up without the Bundusuite, or you can vice versa, guys. And now that roof section is mighty handy to have on the Bundutop, particularly when it rains. So you can easily get in and out of your tent without getting wet. If you're using the standard ladder that comes with the Bundutec Bundutop rooftop tent, just the way it's designed, when you climb up and you get onto the top part of the ladder, then all your weight, okay guys, is basically it's going to be on this vehicle. It's going to be on these mounting points here. And when you get to the top rails, well, from about halfway up, then your body weight's going to be on this, and it tends to lean the vehicle over a bit this way. And if it's been raining, particularly if it's flat, your Bundutop rooftop tent is flat, and particularly if it's level, then you'll tend to get a little bit of water to sit up there. And then when you climb up and you get onto the top section of the ladder, then poof, you got all this water comes down. The first time it tricked me, guys, the first time that I went camping with this, it rained and rained. I think there would have been something like 4 or 5 inches that day. And I climbed up and I got to the top, the middle of the rung of the ladders. And as soon as I got to the top section, you know, from halfway up, and the weight was then being supported on the vehicle, my whole body weight, poof, it was like a waterfall. So that roof section, guys, it's really worthwhile having. Even if you think you won't use the Bundusuite, it's worth getting because you get that roof section. And guys, the only way to get that roof section is if you buy the Bundusuite, because it's included with it. I don't believe you can purchase the roof. Now, I've had some questions on how it's mounted, guys. So I'm just going to flick this camera around to front facing and just show you the brackets. Okay guys, I want you to see this bracket. Now let's just move this out the way so we've got a better view here. Okay, just excuse me there. Alright, so this is the bracket in question. Okay, if you can see this. This is included with the Bundusuite. So when you purchase the Bundusuite, you will get that bracket. Now it's quite a unique bracket, the way it works. You can see that it actually pivots on this point there. So there's a pivoting point. So the whole Bundusuite you can lift up like so. Now the idea with that, guys, is to give you easier access to the buttons down here. Although, as you can see, I don't need to lift up to get to the buttons. Also gives you easier access to get to the clips here, and gives you easier access to get to these mounting points for the ladder, as you can see there. So that's another thing you get, guys. You will also get updated ladder mounts, and I love these mounts. I think these are a lot better than the standard ones that come with the Bundutec. So you get a bonus there, and you can see how it's mounted on, guys. It's just a matter of a few pop rivets, and you'll get the pop rivets. They are supplied with them. They're watertight, they're sealed pop rivets. You won't get any water coming in there. And then normally by default now this happened in my case, guys. Normally by default, and this is a particular question that I've had in regards to this arm here. Someone asked me, what happens when you install the Bundusuite? You know, can you still use the hook? And this is one thing that I was actually concerned about myself too. So as you're aware, I didn't install this. Eddie's from Eddie's Auto Marine down the Gold Coast, which is the main retailer for Bundutec in the southeast Queensland, and he's a qualified installer as well. And he mounted these, and you can see what he's done, guys. So this used to be up higher here. All right, this used to be in place here. So obviously you cannot mount it there now because it gets in the way of the bracket for the Bundusuite. You can see the bracket here, how that works. And we'll get to that, guys, because another question I had was the stainless steel rods inside the roof. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just go back on my video where I actually show setting these up, and you use the stainless steel rods. They mount in through here. So if you see here, you got one hole there, so it rises in there, it goes into this other one and sits at the back there. So you just push that in there. Now by default, where this is located is pretty much just over here. This gets in the way. Any holes, as you can see, guys, that's left behind from any of the other mounting systems, you can just put the pop rivets back in, but make sure that they're sealed. Apparently you are supplied with rivets that seals when you put the rivets in. That way the water or moisture don't get into your rooftop tent, and that's the last thing you want. So you can see here what they've done. They kind of mounted off a little bit lower and on a bit of an angle here. So you can see it is on an angle. It's not an issue at all, guys. It still just fits in perfectly. There's no problems at all. And you can see how strong it is. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10 pop rivets on there, so it's not going to go anywhere. And basically, it's not like this is holding any weight. Most of the force on it is force that's pushing backwards, okay, from the tension of this arm here when you set it up. So this makes for a very quick setup, guys. And also when you're using the Bundusuite, if you've got a strap that goes onto there, it's going to get into the way for this whole system, because when you mount both of these up, they're pretty much a concealed unit because it's got Velcro all the way around the brim. Make sure that you install these correctly at the correct height, because for that reason, as I mentioned before, where they've got to, these two have to power up with each other. There is clear instructions that are included on how you set this up. Now, if you're wondering what this is, guys, this is just a cover area that I've made up here. Now, when you mount these, you can see this bar is back quite a fair distance. Honestly, I don't know why they've mounted it with such a big gap. I did query Eddie about this. Are you watching this, Eddie? I did query, remember I queried about that, and you said, oh, it's not a problem because when you got the Bundutop rooftop tent set up, then you got that awning. This awning, I use it a lot without setting up my Bundutop rooftop tent. And another thing is, if the rain is coming in from this direction like this, you still get water through here, and not just that, you'll get the sunlight through here as well. So all I've done, guys, now I have done a video on this. All I've done is I've got some double-sided tape and I've used this rail track, you know, like you see in the caravans. This is from a conventional four-wheel drive awning, and all I've done is just cut it to measure, and it works brilliant. It's been there for a long time now. There's no way it's coming off, and all I do to put it on top of the vehicle is I just use some magnets. So if you're wondering how you cover that gap up, well, that's how I do it. Because I had a problem. If I have the door open, guys, and it's raining, well, I can't do any cooking here, guys. I can't do any cooking. I can't access the fridge without everything getting wet. It just stays there. It rolls up with the awning. So many questions I've received over the past year in regards to that, and I thought it would be easier if I did a quick video, just to explain that, guys. So if there's any questions, let me know. And if there's anything more you want to know, maybe some close-up photos, etc. As I mentioned, if you're mounting these yourself, they are very easy to install, but it's very important that you get the gap in between these two mounted correctly, including the roof part as well. So you will get a rail, okay, similar to what I showed you here, what I've used along here, guys. You will get a rail similar like that, that pop rivets to the side up the top of your Bundutec Bundutop rooftop tent. So make sure you got that positioned correctly in the right spot. So that way, when both of them are set up, the velcros will then line up with each other and it'll set up this perfectly. As you see, guys, just go back on some of my photos and you'll see how well these work together with each other. Spring now, it is my favorite time of the year. I love it. Flowers in bloom, beautiful. You can see, no jacket. Still getting cool at night. Still got to put a jacket on at night, but apart from that, the daytime temperatures are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Love this time of the year. So guys, any questions, post them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. So until next time, cheers, look after yourself, be kind everyone.